What's up, bros? There are over 50 shoutouts placed all over this video. I hope you can find yours. The first shoutout goes to Caleb Eid.
What's up, guys? We haven't made one in a while and a lot of you guys have been asking. So we made a 2019 or 2020, whatever you want to say, Arsenal video. So we have took out all the Nerf guns that we currently have and we're going to show you all of them. So we've kind of organized them by color and by series. I have them all laid out, pretty much organized, and I'm going to show you guys. So first we're going to start with the basic ntrike and ntrike Elite series. So the first gun we have here would be the Rapid Strike, and we have two of them. So this is the Rapid Strike. This is a pretty early gun from when the ntrike Elite series started. It's a magazine-fed full auto blaster. It takes, pretty sure, C batteries, and overall I definitely like it. It's a very comfortable gun. It can be good for people with small arms or with longer arms like me. It's really comfortable, easy to use. You can make it compact or big. I like it a lot.
The next shout out goes to Heather Grambart.
The next gun we have is the Surgefire. This is a very new gun. It's drum fed, holds a decent amount of ammo, very simple and practical gun. I haven't actually used this one very much in Nerf Wars, but in my opinion it seems good. This gun has tended to jam a couple times, I think, but besides that, it's overall a decent gun.
The next shout out goes to Rags.
Next we have the Ruckus. This is a very odd looking gun. Most of these guns are drum fed or magazine fed or just front loading. This has a clip that moves up and down as you fire, and it's curved. It's like a banana magazine kind of. Even though it does look kind of odd, it definitely functions well. It doesn't really jam that much. It works perfectly fine. Another great gun.
The next shout out goes to Marine Airsoft 2008.
Now we have a Long Strike. I don't have the barrel attachment equipped on it currently. This is a very old Nerf gun. This is in the original ntrike series. It's one of the most popular Nerf guns ever. The actual performance of this gun isn't so great, especially compared to a lot of other guns now, but it looks cool. It's a very popular choice among modders for doing mods like air compression mods and stuff, and it's a great gun. It also looks cool.
The next shout out goes to Epic Nerf 14.
Next, we have a very new gun, the Infamous. This is one of those guns where Nerf is testing with new technology. It's magazine fed, but instead of taking the magazine out and loading it, you can actually just load the magazine inside the gun. There's a hole here, you just put your dart in right there, and it travels through the gun and loads into the magazine. So you can pick up rounds while you're walking around and put them in your gun. Very cool gun. Performance is all right. It's another gun that takes big batteries, C&D batteries. You may have learned from my videos, I kind of don't like guns that take big batteries because they're hard to get and kind of expensive. I like guns that just take AA's and AAA's. However, even though it does take bigger batteries, this really cool feature they have on it really makes up for that.
The next shout out goes to Bruxkinshin.
Next, we have the Cam Strut, the Nerf Cam ECS 12. This is kind of not new, but not old. It's another Elite gun. This actually has a camera on it. So if you want to record videos with your friends, all you do is it comes with actually, maybe it doesn't, but you put the SD card in, and then you charge the batteries, and you just turn it, or actually no, you just put regular AA's in there, and you turn it on, and you can record pictures, and you can record video, and I'm pretty sure take photos with this too. It's really good. It's basically a Strife besides the camera part. The quality on the camera's okay, but I mean, it's already impressive that they put a camera in a Nerf gun. So, good gun.
The next shout out goes to Toxic Waves.
Now we have some strong arms. We have two of them. This is a purple one, and this is a clear one. We got these in our Nerf care packages they send us sometimes. I forgot what they were called. What are they called?
The Nerf Nation box.
Oh yeah, these came in the Nerf Nation boxes that Nerf sends us. I think these came in the summer boxes. And it's a strong arm. Overall, in my opinion, one of the best Nerf guns ever made. It's very simple. I don't think I've ever had a strong arm jam. A great gun. It just looks cool, great for modding. It's a strong arm, it's reliable.
The next shout out goes to Cassie L.
Next we have a Maverick. This is the older version of the strong arm, although this is kind of a rare one because it's clear. They don't make this anymore. I think I got this off eBay a super long time ago. I don't use it much because I don't want it to break because this is a really rare gun because it's a clear strong arm Maverick. And I think I already said, but the Maverick was the original version of the strong arm in the ntrike series.
The next shout out goes to Mega Liam Studios.
This is a Strife. Whoops. I basically modded all my Strifes except for this one. And you're gonna see a modded section later, which is why this is the only Strife here. But the Strife is definitely the most popular Nerf gun ever created. One of the best Nerf guns ever for modding because there's so much you can do with it, and you can put a lot of attachments on it, very customizable. You can keep it small like this. Definitely one of the best Nerf guns ever.
The next shout out goes to Adyen B.
Fire Strike, this is a little pistol. It's simple, you load it, aim, fire. It's a Springer. Next we have the Strato Bow. Most Nerf users are into Nerf blasters and guns, so I don't think this ever became really too popular, although it definitely is a good design. Another one of those blasters where or another one of those bows, I guess, where Nerf was just making new things, trying out new things. It's definitely cool. And most of the bows actually Nerf had is where you put it in and shoot. This is a very interesting design because it has a moving clip similar to the Ruckus, where you aim and it moves the clip up, and then you release and you aim and it moves the clip up again, and then you release and fire. Definitely a very interesting Nerf piece of Nerf.
The next shout out goes to Brandon Sternthal.
Next we have the Demolisher 2-in-1. This is another cool blaster. It's another one of those blasters that's basically a Strife, except for an interesting thing it has. It has a missile launcher. So Nerf has these little missiles every once in a while that make a missile gun. They come with them. So you load them in, and it uses air to fire the missile. You just pump it backwards, and it fires the missile out. Definitely a very interesting gun. It's like a Nerf gun with a grenade launcher, kind of.
The next shout out goes to Fierce Albright.
This, I forgot the name. The Crosscut, I think it was, or the Crossbow. I think this was called the Crossbow, but I may have forgot. Originally, this was a zombie strike gun, but they made a Fire series. A Fire series, which were Toys R Us exclusives, but you can't get them anymore because Toys R Us is not a thing anymore. Anyway, they had the Fire series of the original zombie strike version. This is another one of a Nerf. This is another Nerf gun that I really like a lot, actually, because this one doesn't really jam much either, unless you have bad darts. It's very simple. You cock it back, fire. It actually shoots pretty far. The performance of this gun is actually pretty good, and it works well. It shoots holds 4 darts in the front. Great gun.
The next shout out goes to Fierce Albright.
Barrel Break, another one of those Nerf guns that's just cool. The performance of this never was really that good, but it's just so fun pretending that you're Terminator and breaking the barrel open and putting 2 darts in, and then shooting it. I actually modified this one by taking out the air restrictors, but it really didn't do much to this gun. So yeah.
The next shout out goes to Jumpman Airsoft.
And the last gun we have in the ntrike series would be the Sling Strike. This gun is oddly more painful than you would think it is. I remember having Nerf wars with my brother and my friends all the time, and my brother would always use this gun, and for some reason, this gun hurt the most to get shot with, and I never understood why. This is one of the only guns that's actually string powered. It has an elastic band that comes back, and that's what propels the dart. You put a dart in, aim back, and fire. And this is oddly painful for some reason. Compared to all the other Nerf guns, this is like one of the, I never understood why. But if you come up to someone and you aim at a part of their skin that isn't covered by clothes, and you pull it and shoot it, I don't know why. It's just very interesting Nerf gun. Very simple, very light, easy to use. Overall, it's a good Nerf gun.
The next shout out goes to Destroy Cobble 5000.
Now we're going to be stepping into the AccuStrike series. One of the guns I took apart and modded and didn't put back together. So the one I have out right now is the Raptor Strike. This is a very long Nerf gun, magazine fed, pocket back, fire. It's a Springer, very simple gun. It has this flip up sight here you can aim with. Overall, it looks great.
The next shout out goes to Riyadh Hendricks.
Immediately after that, the one gun I have in the AccuStrike series, we step into the Doomland series, which Nerf worked on for a lot, but it seems like they're not releasing too many blasters out with it now. But we have the Doomland's Desolator. Another basic gun that's basically a strife, although it kind of looks cooler in a way. And I like the white and black design on it.
The next shout out goes to Elite Shepherd.
The Lawbringer, another cool looking gun. It's a cylinder fed. You load darts in, cock it with a hammer. It's like taking a bunch of designs and putting them in one gun. You have kind of a drum, and then a hammer from a revolver, and then you fire it like that. And that one is so loud because I removed the air restrictor, so it's more powerful. Although I have a standard one here that isn't modded, and the normal one not modded sounds like this. And that would be the Lawbringer.
The next shout out goes to Kid Connection.
That ends out the Doomland series. Next we step into, I don't think this is really actually a series, but we have the Star Wars guns. I don't remember what any of these are called. Anyway, this is from one of the new Star Wars movies. The one particular interesting thing about this gun is with most Nerf magazine releases, they're here and you press them. This one has one like an M4 and it's on the side, which is pretty cool. Besides that, this is basically another strife.
The next shout out goes to Vance Hornbaker.
This is another Star Wars gun, as to, I don't know what the name is. And it's another Springer. And with almost all these Star Wars guns, they light up and they have sounds.
The next shout out goes to Don't Mind Me Please.
This is one of the only Star Wars guns that doesn't light up and have sounds, the Han Solo blaster. This is the one I do know the name of. You cock it back, and it has another interesting design. It's a magazine fed, but it's an internal magazine that is not removable. You load the darts in here, and I kind of like that design actually, because you don't have to put magazines in. You just open it and load them like that. So it's still magazine fed, it's not a drum fed, which drum feds, the problem they have is ones with air restrictors, sometimes the darts pop out. It's still a magazine fed, although it's not removable. It's very simple. You just open it, pop your rounds in, and fire. It's an internal magazine.
The next shout out goes to Drew Plays Roblox.
Next, we have some kind of Stormtrooper blaster. This is one where you just load the darts in the front, cock it back, and fire, and there's lights and sounds. And this is a Stormtrooper blaster. Another drum-fed one, or cylinder-fed, I guess. You put the rounds in, cock it, and fire. This probably is my favorite one from all the ones that make lights and sounds. I don't know why, but I'm attracted to this one the most for some reason. Anyway, the performance on all these Star Wars ones is pretty good. Most of them are Springers. There's one or two electric ones. This is a Springer itself. So yeah.
The next shout out goes to Dan Plays Games.
That would be the end of the Star Wars series. Now we can move on to the Zombie Strike series. First, we got the Revoltinator. Definitely a very interesting gun, because this whole gun itself is about lights and sounds. I think this gun is more about lights and sounds than the actual shooting part of the gun itself, because there are a lot of lights on this gun. It may be kind of hard to see from so far away, but it's a very interesting gun. Besides the lights and sounds, it's another strife, but it's got this handle up here, and all the zombie strike guns are mainly about the looks and designs on them than the functioning of the gun. So this is definitely a really cool looking one, and on most of these zombie strikes you can see little secret details they put in, like there's a phone strapped on the back here.
The next shout out goes to CR Gaming.
Next, the Brainsaw. Arguably one of the coolest Nerf guns, or at least zombie strike ever, because it has a foam blade on the front that rotates when you pull it back. With a lot of old gas chainsaws, if you don't know, they had like a starter like this. You'd pull it back to start up the engine. This is like pulling back to start up a chainsaw engine. And you could do that and come up and chop one of your friends in half like that. It also had some darts you could shoot on the sides here, 8 in total. It's a Springer, but that wasn't really the reason why this became popular. The reason this is so great is because of the chainsaw.
The next shout out goes to Michael Hawes.
Now I got the Slingfire. This is a gun that's great for people who like to do tricks, because you can do this, and you can do this. And there's a lot of other tricks that I don't know about, but there's a lot of cool tricks you can do with this gun simply because it's a lever action. And this was the only, or one of the 2 lever actions Nerf ever made, but basically, cock it with a lever, fire. It's a very cool gun.
The next shout out goes to Syed Iqbal Hussain.
This is the Rev Reaper. This is a very interesting gun because this is the only gun, or I think the only Nerf gun that is not battery powered or air powered or spring powered or string powered. This one is powered simply by, it still has flywheels like electric guns do, although those flywheels are not powered by a battery, they are instead powered by a pump. You turn the pump and it turns the gears, which turns the flywheels. So what you do is you put your magazine in and you just do this. It is a very loud gun, so you can't really be very sneaky with this, but this gun requires no batteries or springs or anything. You literally just turn the wheels with the pump.
The next shout out goes to Rusu Bogdan.
This is a gun that shoots bolts. Yes, Nerf made bolts. You put the bolts in and then you cock the handle back and you fire. The bolts actually flew pretty well. They flew decently far. What was the name of this gun? Oh, the Dreadbolt. This is the Dreadbolt. And it's another one of those zombie strikes where you can see it's got a lot of cool little hints or little sneaky designs they put in there. Like if you look closely, you'll notice that this is actually a wrench. And there's some other stuff in here. I'm not looking very hard, so I can't really see, but you can look and there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff on these zombie strike guns.
The next shout out goes to Avon Tube HD.
This is the other lever action that came out after the one I just showed you. This is a scavenger. I honestly like the other one better, but this one's still pretty cool because you can attach a stock on here. You can attach a barrel up here. This one's a lot more customizable. You can still do the same tricks and stuff. One interesting thing about this they never done on Nerf guns before is with most Nerf guns you can cock it and shoot, or you can do slam fire, which is where you hold down the trigger and cock it. You can't really do slam fire in this because you can't really hold down the trigger and pull the lever at the same time. So they have a switch, and you can actually slam fire this gun by simply pulling the lever back and forth and not actually pulling the trigger like this. Controlled by this little switch here. A very interesting design that Nerf made.
The next shout out goes to Kickstart TV.
This one is the Flip Fury. For a very long time, people had been making their own mods where they were taking like Strong Arms and Mavericks and making their own little 3D printed parts or something like that and having 2 cylinders where you could switch back and forth. And then Nerf made their own official one. So this is the Flip Fury. It's basically a strong arm with 2 cylinders. So whenever you run out of ammo, you can switch to the next cylinder. A very cool gun.
The next shout out goes to Gold Games.
This is the Nail Biter, another really cool gun. This is a nail gun. It's literally even looks like a nail gun. Put your darts in, which are the nails, and you already know what it is. Also, even though this is a nail gun, oddly enough, they literally gave you the option to attach a barrel attachment and a stock attachment onto a nail gun. So if you want to have a Nerf nail gun, then this is what you need.
The next shout out goes to Lamest YouTuber Ever.
This is the Mega Magnus. Actually, I have another one. I have 2 of them. This is the Mega Magnus. The Mega Magnus originally was a mega gun, but now they made a zombie strike mega gun of it. It's another gun with an internal magazine, which I like. This is one of my favorite Nerf guns. I like it a lot because it shoots really far and is very simple. You load 3 mega rounds in, push it forward, fire.
The next shout out goes to Denzel Amaya.
This is the strong arm. If you watch Nerf Patrol, you know this is the main Nerf Patrol gun. Definitely another one of my favorite Nerf guns. It's kind of, or not the strong arm, this is the hammer shot, I mean. You put in the 5 rounds of the cylinder, kind of similar to the strong arm, although the strong arm requires you to shoot it 2-handed by cocking the handle. This one just has a hammer spur on the back. You cock back and then you can fire, like that. This is a micro shot hammer shot. Basically, it's a jolt.
The next shout out goes to Kafer Vlogs.
This is the long shot. Now, I've never had any luck with the long shot because I have 2 of them and both of them have had problems. One of them jams every single second and the other one has a weird stock. This must be the one that jams. Although, oh, this is the one with the weird stock. Although, I hear a lot of people all the time say the hammer shot is one of the best Nerf guns ever and that it's a really great gun. So I assume that I just got bad ones, but The hammer shot, based off what other people say, should be a really good gun. With this one, with the weird stock, this one doesn't actually jam, it shoots fine. And actually the shooting part of the long shot actually is pretty good. It actually shoots really far, this gun. So if you get a long shot, you should get a good one. I guess I just got unlucky, but the long shot is a really good gun.
The next shout out goes to Super Nerf Guns 1050.
Now we start into the Fortnite series. This is the Fortnite suppressed pistol, another internal magazine gun. This is the Fortnite legendary Scar. It's another Strife, but it looks like a legendary Scar from Fortnite because it has the giant magazine. Everything looks big and cartoony, like all the animations in Fortnite.
The next shout out goes to Pyro Reszo.
These are two micro shots. One of these is the tactical shotgun and one of these is the loot llama. I like the loot llama more, but yeah. This is a mega tactical shotgun. Yes, Nerf likes to combine their series a lot. They made a mega Fortnite gun. This is a tactical shotgun with a very interesting internal magazine that is loaded from the bottom. You load 3 rounds, I think, 3 or 4, and then you simply use it like a pump shotgun. Very cool gun, and then it's got this little screen here. All these Fortnite guns actually look like how they do in the game. Besides a few color differences, maybe they look pretty great.
The next shout out goes to Davep Peters.
Now, like I was talking about with the Demolisher earlier, this is one of the guns Nerf makes that shoots missiles. You load a missile in the front and you open it up and then you pump it backwards to fire the missile. It fires pretty good, but definitely the best thing about this gun is how cool it looks. This is supposed to be the rocket launcher from Fortnite, by the way. And this is the hand cannon from Fortnite. Another mega gun. You cock it back and forward. It's a front loader. You just load one in the front. Boom, very simple gun. Very powerful also.
The next shout out goes to Brian the Boy Genius, gamer and vlogger.
Now we enter the actual Mega series. First, we have one of the newer Mega guns, the Tri-Break. Pretty cool gun. You load the 3 in the front, do that, take aim, and fire.
The next shout out goes to It's Chi.
This is an interesting Mega gun. It is called the Megalodon. And I think that's a dinosaur, but it might not be. I don't know that much about dinosaurs, but I think I've heard there's a dinosaur called... Anyway, this is the Megalodon. So basically there is a drum in the front, and it's basically just another drum Nerf gun, but it's a mega one. You load like 20 rounds in, and with a lot of Nerf guns, they have a handle you can hold it and cock it. This one you actually cock it by the handle, which I like, because with the Nerf guns where you cock it on the bottom, it's like, why did they put the handle there if you don't grab it by the handle? But this one you grab by the handle, and you cock it by the handle.
The next shout out goes to Jasmine Gomez.
Next we have the Nerf Bulldog. This is actually one of my favorite mega guns because of how small and how cool it is, because is that not cool? That's really cool. A lot of these Nerf guns you load 3 rounds in the front, which is really interesting. I guess Nerf likes 3 for some reason, but you load 3 rounds in the front, cock it back, and this is actually a very powerful gun. This, or most of the Nerf mega guns are really powerful and they shoot really far. And you can close it. It's kind of like the Deploy. You can close it and make it compact.
The next shout out goes to Lucas Thrasher.
This is the Double Breach. This gun kind of jammed a lot, so I never really used it that much. But basically you cock it back and you open it, and that's where it gets the breach. You open the breach and you put 2 rounds in, close the door, fire, and then you reload. It's kind of a cool design, although in my opinion it ends up being impractical because you have to do that every time you want to shoot 2 shots. So, yeah.
The next shout out goes to Eric Tucker.
This is the Roto Fury. Everything about this gun is great and perfect, except every time I ever use this gun, I cock it and I hit my hand there. So when you use this gun, remember to not have your hand like this, have it kind of out like that so you don't hit your hand. Or maybe I just have big hands, I don't know. But here's the Roto Fury, another drum-fed gun. Oh, I guess this is modded. Oh wait, no, I think it just sounds like that actually. This is another one of those mega guns that shoots really far. It's great for outdoor play. Overall, a good springer.
The next shout out goes to Renu Sharma.
This is the Cyclone Shock. This is like one of the most popular mega guns there's ever been, or probably Nerf guns there's ever been. I'm not sure why this became popular, but this became a very popular gun that many people got. It's like the strong arm of the Mega series. You load it up, cock it, and fire. And this one, I think I removed the air restrictor because of that sound it made. Overall, a really good gun.
The next shout out goes to Chris Ruiz.
Now we have the bows. Nerf made 2 mega bows. The smaller one, the lightning bow. Put one in, aim, fire, works pretty well. And then the giant one, the Thunderhawk. This one, instead of holding 1, holds 5 rounds. So instead of having to reload, you could shoot pretty fast. You aim, fire, fire. You can just keep doing that. The Thunderbow, it's another Nerf bow. All the Nerf bows really work pretty well. Good gun.
The next shout out goes to Jose Clark.
And next we come to the, I actually already did this with the Zombie Strike one, but here is an actual Mega one in the Ice series. The Mega Magnus, I've already said, is one of my favorite Nerf guns. This is simply the Ice series version.
The next shout out goes to Skittles.
This is the Mega Twin Shock. This gun is oddly surprising, I don't know why. It's interesting when I shoot this gun because it's a big gun, and most big Nerf guns are really loud. But when you fire this gun, it's very quiet. That's the noise it makes. And whenever you shoot it compared to another Nerf guns, in real life, it does sound pretty quiet for some reason. But overall, this shoots 2 at a time. It's pretty good if you're having a Nerf war in your house and you need to suppress fire on someone. You can get 2 rounds out at the same time. It holds 8, I'm pretty sure. Or no, it holds 10 actually. It's kind of like the Mega version of the Rough Cut, although way bigger.
The next shout out goes to Tac Rideau.
And this is the Mega Centurion. This gun is very big, very cool, and if you paint it, it looks awesome. But the problem is this gun always had jamming problems for many people. Even for me, this one actually is currently jammed right now. They were very popular when they came out, but they had lots of jamming problems. Overall, for the looks, if you want a gun for a prop to look cool in the movie, that's definitely where this shines because it looks awesome, especially if you give it a great paint job.
The next shout out goes to Hunter Bolt.
Next, we move into the Modulus series. A lot of great guns came out in the Modulus series. First, we have the original Modulus, ECS-10. It's basically another Strife, but way more customizable. There's rails everywhere. You can add a stock, a front attachment. Pretty good gun. This is the Modulus Regulator. This is a very cool gun. It's another one of those guns where Nerf was trying new engineering and new technology. This is the first Nerf gun ever, and so far the only Nerf gun ever, to have a semi-automatic 3-round burst, and fully automatic firing modes. A lot of Nerfers mod their guns to be able to have that, and this is the first one you can buy already like that. A very cool design in my opinion.
The next shout out goes to Joe Manisme.
This is the Mega Mediator. It's basically a Rampage, but smaller. This is the Tri-Strike. This is one of my favorite Nerf guns. I'm not exactly sure why, but I just like it a lot. It's so small. I think I just like the paint job on it, how it has the green. I don't think any of the other Modulus guns have this kind of teal green color. I just like that a lot. Anyway, it's pretty customizable. You can put a stock on the back, stock on the front. I like how it's bolt action. I like the bolt action Nerf guns. Magazine fed, so you can put small magazines or giant magazines. It works good. It doesn't really jam. It's got slam fire. Good gun. I think actually why it was called the Tri-Strike is it had like a missile launcher on it and something else too, or something. I don't actually remember because normally this gun's sold with all its attachments, but I don't have it with all its attachments right now. But even without the attachments, I like the gun just base by itself.
The next shout out goes to Aaron Bonatz.
Next, we have a series with only 2 guns in it, the Ghost Ops series. This is the Ghost Ops Shadow ICS-6. I actually like this gun a lot. It works very differently compared to a lot of Nerf guns. This is one where it's an internal magazine fed. I like them, I already said a lot. Although this one, you can actually load it with the gun not being cocked. Most guns you have to cock them back to open the chamber and load the rounds. This one you can load the rounds and then cock it and then fire. It also lights up. Another Ghost Op gun. The main thing with these guns is being clear and having the ability to light up. Although this is basically the electric version of the Ghost Op series and it's basically a Strife.
The next shout out goes to Hi Bye.
Next, we have the gun in the Nerf Ultra 1 series. So far, they've only made one in the series, the Ultra 1, in the Nerf Ultra series. It works pretty well. The Nerf Ultra series darts, the different darts it has, which was the main thing about the series, I think they work better than Nerf darts, although they're not like a big difference. This is probably better than a lot of Nerf guns, but it isn't like such a huge difference where if you have this, you're gonna destroy everyone on the field. A lot of regular Nerf guns can still compete with this gun, but overall it's definitely a cool gun, and it has a nice paint job on it too. The black, orange, white, and gold, definitely a cool paint job. And it's a flywheel drum fed again, holds a lot of ammo actually. Next, we have some guns in the Vortex series. The Vortex is a very old series that Nerf had, and they stopped making guns, and then they recently started making new guns, and they haven't made any more. They have the Vortex Pyragon, which is basically the big boy of the Vortex series. It has a big, I don't have it right now, but it's the big magazine, which holds like 50 rounds. And if you don't know, the Vortex series is a series of Nerf guns that shoots these little discs. And then we have the series, the Praxis, yeah. We have the gun that I like from the Vortex series, the Praxis. I like this one simply because it looks cooler in my opinion. It works pretty much the same as the Pyragon. The odd thing about Vortexes is a lot of their guns, their discs seem to curve when they come out, which I think is another reason Nerf doesn't make them anymore. They were unpopular because of that. But it seems like with these newer guns, they didn't actually do it. The discs flew straight with the newer ones. The newer ones are better, actually a lot. They've upgraded these a lot from the previous Vortex guns. So that's the Vortex series. And now, in the Rebel series, the only Rebel gun I have would be this one. That's actually kind of broken, but it still works. Basically, this is another string-powered gun where you pull the string back, load one round, and then fire it, and it actually works pretty well. I'm not really sure, but a lot of people have told me this is a rare gun. I've never heard that it's a rare gun, but a lot of people in the comments have told me that, so I guess it is.
The next shout out goes to Kai.
Alright, next we have the Rival series. First, we have one of the first Rival guns to ever come out, the MXV 1200. This is a semi-automatic Rival gun. It shoots pretty good. If you don't know, the Rival series is the series of Nerf guns that shoots the little Rival rounds, little yellow balls. So this is one of the first Rival guns, the first electric one. It's basically the Strife kind of Rival guns. It's a semi-automatic gun. It shoots pretty good. Next, we have the Rival Chronos. This is probably one of the best Rival or Nerf pistols really ever made. It's the only Rival pistol there is. It's a spring-powered one. Another internal magazine. More and more Nerf guns are having internal magazines now, which I like. And this has ammo in it. Anyway, there's an internal magazine that comes down here and curves. You load your rounds in, and then you take aim and you fire. So, yeah, pretty good gun. With some of the Rival guns, I forgot the names, and they don't have the name of the gun, but instead they have like the number, the Roman numeral of it, which for some reason they give a Roman numeral to all the Rival guns. This is the MXVII 1200. Anyway, this is a semi-automatic Rival gun. It's magazine fed. The magazine comes in from the pistol grip. You aim and fire. This works pretty well.
The next shout out goes to Will the Boss.
This is a super long, gigantic Rival gun, the XVII 6000. It's a pump action Springer, and you bring this piece back all the way and you load your rounds in, and this holds a lot of ammo. There's a rotating cylinder, and I'm not sure exactly how the mechanism works, but it only shoots one at a time, I'm pretty sure. It's basically a Springer rifle gun that's super long and has a huge amount of ammo. This is another semi-automatic rifle gun with this system here where you pull this back, load the roll the ammo in from there, and fire. It's an electric semi-automatic gun. And the cool thing about this is it kind of looks like a P90. If you know the real firearm, the P90, very popular gun, this kind of looks like it. This is the previous rifle gun I've showed, the MXV 1200, although I have modded this one to shoot airsoft lipos. And usually when you mod guns to shoot lipos, they shoot a lot more powerful with dart blasters. For some reason, it made this gun worse. It may have something to do with the physics of being a round ball instead of a dart, but yeah.
The next shout out goes to Jessica Snook.
Next, we have the MXVII 10000. This is a monster. This is a hopper-fed gun that works because these shoot balls. So they have hoppers like paintballs. You load the rounds in, the giant hopper holds like 50 or 100 rounds or something crazy. You close the door, put it on fire, you rev the gun up. The rev trigger revs up the flywheels, where the main trigger has a conveyor belt in there which pushes the balls into the flywheels. And the conveyor belt feeding rifle rounds into the flywheels gives it a very high rate of fire. This shoots very fast. This gun came out before that one. This is before they realized they could make hoppers and make them crazy effective and great. This one just has a giant magazine that, it's actually kind of an interesting magazine. There's like 4 tubes that hold rounds in. And you just load it in. Even though this is a magazine fed, they made a system where it shoots very fast. This may actually have been a conveyor. Yeah, this is another conveyor belt one. There's a conveyor belt that's feeding the balls into the flywheels, and the next ones come and it keeps feeding. And even though this is a mag one, most flywheel magazine guns are not very fast. This is a very fast shooting one. Next, we have the very first, well, this one and the MXV 1200 came out at the same time, but the first Springer gun, this is very powerful. It's magazine fed. It's kind of hard to cock, but you cock it back, fire. There we go. And it fires the rounds out very powerful.
The next shout out goes to Gaming in the Darkness Let's Play.
This is a rifle gun I actually like a lot. I'm not sure why I like this, but this would be the XX800. You cock it, fire. It's a very small gun. I think it's just how it looks. I just really like how this gun looks. It's got a sawed-off shotgun look. Another internal magazine gun. You load the rounds in, pump it forward, fire. This is a hopper-fed one, but it has a rather small hopper. It holds only about 30 rounds, I think. It's fully automatic. This is the rifle Perseus. I do remember this name. And it has a rechargeable battery, which is cool, so you don't have to keep buying batteries like AA's and stuff, big like D batteries and C batteries that I talked about earlier. This one has a rechargeable battery, and I like Nerf guns with rechargeable batteries because, well, I just said it, you don't have to keep buying batteries. It comes with a charger with a large type Tamiya plug. You connect it into the wall, charge it up, and this one is very cool. It's very spacey, like futuristic, because you take the battery and you load it into the gun like this. It's very cool. From this view, if you didn't know about this gun, you wouldn't even tell that this is a battery. And then the allowance rolled into the top. This has an insanely high rate of fire. It's another conveyor belt gun. These conveyor belt guns are really good. It shoots super fast. The only problem is, compared to the other hopper guns, this hopper doesn't hold much ammo, so it just drains the ammo out super fast. This is one of my favorite rival guns. This is the rival Atlas, I'm pretty sure, XVI 1200. You load the magazine up top, and the reason I like this is because it shoots 2 at a time. It shoots 2 rifle balls down at a time for double the firepower with 1 single trigger pull. Cock it back, fire, and this gun scares people in Nerf wars because it is insanely loud. And the rifle has a sub-series in rifle. I forgot what the series was, but it was a bunch of super precise, accurate guns, or it's actually another team in rifle. Rifle has red team, blue team, the white guns are in the Phantom Corps, and I forgot what this team was, but it's this team, according to Nerf, focuses on accuracy and precision. They have green colored guns, and I really like this green color. It's kind of almost yellow neonish. It literally has a monopod in the back. That is just cool. Bipod in the front. It's a bolt action gun. The actual accuracy of this gun is pretty much the same as all the other rifle guns, but the reason this one is so cool is simply because of its looks. It's another internal magazine fed gun, and if you look through this glass door, you can actually see the internal magazine. Load the rounds up here. It's a bolt action, and it just looks cool. It's got this flat trigger design a lot of real guns have now. Overall, it just looks awesome, this gun. It's also got this rubber kind of cheek pad here, which is very comfortable to put your cheek on. So we also have the Overwatch series of guns. However, most of those are in the box. In fact, all of them are in the box. We put back in the box except for this one. So I decided to just include this in the Rival series. Diva uses this in Overwatch. I don't know too much who that is because I don't actually play Overwatch, but for you Overwatch fans, you may know who Diva is. It has a safety on it because all the Rival guns have safeties, so they had to add one on this. It's another time when Nerf mixed 2 series together and they mixed Rival and Overwatch. It's another internal magazine fed gun. Personally, this is one of my favorite looking guns ever. I don't know why, I think it just looks cool, this gun. It just looks nice. It's satisfying to look at for some reason. I like this gun. And another cool feature on it, Nerf made a new feature, is when you shoot it, this little part comes back to simulate blowback on a real gun. On a real gun, you'd have the slide blowback to eject the empty casing, and they have this little part that blows back to simulate that, so that's cool. So next, we have, oh yeah, the modded series. We haven't modded very many guns, so we don't have too many in here, but the first one is a gun that doesn't actually shoot, although it scares people away, so it doesn't need to shoot. This is a giant gun we made for a video one time. We took cylinders off guns that weren't Nerf guns, and we hot glued them on, and we loaded a bunch of ammo in, and basically, even though it doesn't fire because in creating this, it blocked its ability to fire, it doesn't matter because you can walk up to someone, and trust me, I don't think they're gonna try shooting you if you have this thing. And don't tell them that it doesn't shoot, because then they're definitely gonna shoot you. Next, we have the Hyperfire, and I actually modded this. And what I did is I rewired it, and I modded it to where it can now shoot airsoft batteries. And if you don't know, airsoft batteries have a much higher voltage than standard AA batteries you put in Nerf guns. So this one, Nerf already has claimed this gun as the fastest shooting Nerf gun, at least the fastest shooting Nerf Elite gun. And by putting an airsoft battery in it, this is now definitely the fastest shooting Nerf gun. It shoots insanely fast. With an airsoft battery, it's just insane how fast this shoots. It literally just spits darts out. I actually have a video of this. You can see this shooting. And you can't tell that it's modded because it's wired down to the back where the Tamiya plug, the small type Tamiya plug, plugs into the airsoft battery, and it just fits perfectly in there. Next up, we have the Vulcan. As you may know, they don't make the Vulcan anymore, but it's definitely probably the coolest looking Nerf blaster there has ever been. The Vulcan is one of the original ntrike blasters, and it is just super cool looking. The actual performance of this is meh, but it's very interesting because most battery-powered Nerf guns transfer the energy from the battery into two spinning flywheels to spit the dart out, and most springers use a plunger tube. This gun is battery powered, but it does not use flywheels. The battery is used to power the plunger rod going back and forth in the plunger tube. So it's springer, well technically it's not a springer because it's battery powered, but it's also not a flywheel. So it's a battery powered plunger tube system gun. It's very interesting. And the Stampede is the same way. I don't have the Stampede here with me right now, but the Stampede uses a similar mechanism. Now the mechanism it used doesn't actually, it was kind of a weak mechanism. The darts don't shoot very far, but it honestly doesn't matter because this just looks cool. I don't have the belt with me right now, but it even uses a belt. It is so cool. And I did mod this. I was kind of annoyed at how cool this looked, but how not cool it shot. So I modded it. I completely rewired the whole thing, which was a very long and tedious process because I had to watch a very long video of how to rewire this just because of how complicated the wiring of this gun is. But basically I rewired it like all the other guns I've rewired to now it shoots airsoft batteries, and now it is very powerful. In fact, it is so powerful and it shoots so fast that you can't shoot it for too long because it will actually burn out the motors. Next, we have the Strife. This is the first gun ever that I actually rewired, and I was very happy when I rewired it because I was successful rewiring. I rewired the gun, it shoots airsoft batteries now, it still has the stock motors. I cut out a bunch of this place where the original battery tray was so you can fit an airsoft battery. I have one airsoft battery that fits perfectly in here. Actually I have two. I have this extended magazine release, which I like a lot because with the previous magazine release you have to press it with your thumb. This one you do that and take the mag out. Also on the magazine notch itself that grabs in the magazine, I shaved it down a little bit, so now all I have to do is tap it and the mag just falls out, so you can take it out very fast. This is the Elite Rough Cut. This is modded. I did this tan paint job because I thought it looked kind of cool-ish. And right now it's not working because it's jammed, but whenever this gun is not jammed, it's cool because this is one of those guns that uses a system called a Smart Air Restrictor system, where the air restrictors restrict air so you don't damage the guns while dry firing. Although it also works to where if you only have a couple rounds in, all the air restrictors have this system where they work together. When the dart comes in, it pushes this little thing back and air can flow through to push the dart out. When a dart's not in, this little thing closes and the air flows to the next tube. If that tube has a dart, it shoots it. If it doesn't have a tube, it goes to the next tube. And basically what happens is if you remove all those pieces, because of the type of air restrictor that this has, it shoots all of them at the same time. So I decided to remove all of the pieces And now it shoots all the darts at the same time. However, it has removed its slam fire function, and now when you try to slam fire, it will jam, which is why it's jammed, and you have to open it to unjam it. So now I have a Nerf gun that is jammed, which I have not cared to unjam. But whenever you do this mod, it makes it very not powerful. The darts shoot about 5 feet, but it shoots 8 darts at the same time. So if you're 2 feet away from someone, it doesn't matter, because when they see 8 darts coming at them, it's basically guaranteed you're gonna hit them. This is a joke gun that I made. I had this little mega gun originally, and I took off the outer shell to where it was just this little thing, and I shaved out the back, and originally there was tape on the front. So when you load around in the front and you cock it, the tape in the front restricts the air from going forward, so you actually shoot yourself. So the dart comes out the back and you kill yourself. And this is the only gun that I've ever named, and I called it the You've Killed Yourself gun. So next we have the gun, we have one more gun that does not work. It was made for video purposes only, but it could also be used for Nerf gun purposes because most people don't want to be shot by this. So D modded this himself, and he put a bunch of, he went to Home Depot, bought a bunch of CPVC pipes that were cool colors, chopped them all apart, glued them all together, and it holds an insane amount of darts, and because of this little thing on the front, it can't fire anymore. But D named this the Dino Blaster, and doesn't shoot but doesn't need to shoot. You can aim this at someone and they're going to run away. This is a strife that I threw a bunch of grass on and painted to do an experimental camouflage. It still fires. I don't think it has batteries in it right now, or the batteries are dead actually. But basically I threw a bunch of grass on it, or I painted the whole thing tan, threw a bunch of grass on it and painted the whole thing brown. It actually looks kind of like grass, even though there isn't grass on here because I took the grass off. But it's got this like tan brown thing, and if you were in a muddy area, this would be very great camouflage. Next, we can go into another painted gun. This is one of the first paint jobs I ever did. It's not very accurate and very nice looking up close, but from far away it looks cool. It's all black and tan. I even added a black magazine. This is another strife that works perfectly fine. This is designed to look kind of like a designated marksman rifle, kind of a DMR sniper kind of gun. This is a Retaliator. Orange Modworks had sent us some modification parts that make with a 12 kilogram spring, so this shoots insanely powerful. It shoots so powerful that if you were to shoot this without the dart, it would literally break the gun. It's just so powerful that you have to have a dart in, because if you don't, the plunger head is going to slam in the plunger tube and break it. So you have to have a dart when you shoot this. It looks like this. It even has an extended barrel, because if the barrel was too short, this is so powerful it would literally break the darts. You have to have a longer barrel. And overall, it is just a pretty cool gun. If you actually want to bring pain to someone, then this is the correct gun to use. The paint job is pretty cool. D did this paint job. He painted it black, put some silver on it, he sprayed some silver paint on a brush and just kind of did that to give it some wear and tear look. This gun has the same paint job. It's definitely not as powerful as that gun, but it's still pretty powerful. It shoots farther. It's a strong arm. This is another one where Orange Modworks sent us some stuff. We got the Orange Modworks trigger in here, metal trigger, pretty cool. This is a gun that I painted. I'm not that good at painting. I just painted the whole thing silver for no reason. And the trigger on a regular hammer shot, you'll notice, comes back here. I cut it off because I think it looks cooler just like that, and it's lighter. And yeah. This is another gun that D-painted. Pretty cool paint job. This is another one that Orange Modworks sent us a bunch of stuff. We have an extended metal hammer, a metal trigger, this is just a 6-round cylinder. But they sent us a cool looking cylinder. D also put this fabric on here to have a cool grip. Another more powerful gun. This was originally a Star Wars gun, and I was going to make like an M1 Garand kind of gun, because the M1 Garand real gun has an internal magazine, and this has an internal magazine. So I was going to make an M1 Garand, or whatever you want to call it. I was going to attach a stock and a front piece, and it was going to be all cool, and I never finished it, so this is what I have right now. This is the second to last modded gun. This isn't actually painted. It's from NF Strike. Basically, this is a bunch of 3D printed parts connected to a Retaliator to make a gigantic sniper. I know it kind of looks odd because we didn't paint the Retaliator, but I don't know. Who cares? That is just cool. Last modified gun we have is the Nerf Chris Vector. Basically, it's a Nerf Strife that's painted black with a bunch of worker Chris Vector parts, cosmetic parts. This gun shoots like a normal Strife. It's just all cosmetic, but it looks cool. Black paint job, more wear and tear kind of stuff. It's got these little sights that ntrike, I think, or maybe it was Worker actually, sent us with these little, who sent it to us, Worker or ntrike? I don't even remember if Worker or ntrike sent this to us, but it's Worker parts. It's got these little sights that are like fake Magpul M-bus sights. Flip them up, iron sights, you can aim down them. It's overall just a cool looking Nerf gun. And it's got the suppressor on the front, which you can take off. So now we have our big Nerf guns. And this is the Rhino Fire. This one has 2 turrets that move back and forth, and it has 2 giant magazines. The only bad thing about this is you have to have both magazines in to shoot it, but it's okay. And you basically press there. It's got a tripod similar to the one like the Vulcan, and you aim and shoot. Whoops. And it's an elite blaster, by the way. This is the Mega Mastodon. This is one you walk around with. It's a flywheel powered blaster with a big drum that rotates as you fire. It's a mammoth. This is the Nerf Elite, actually. This is the Elite Titan. This is a giant beast. The actual firing performance of this blaster is okay, but what really scares people is the looks. First, just looking at this, it's crazy. And then whenever you start doing this, then the person really doesn't want to be near it and they get scared. You can just aim this at someone, it's just one of those blasters, they're just gonna run away. But the coolest part about this blaster, or one of the coolest parts, is the drum. It has a giant 50-round dart drum. The biggest one they've ever made was a 35-round magazine. This is a 50-round drum, and it looks like 2 drums put together. It is gigantic. On the Nerf gun I talked about earlier, the Hyperfire that shoots super fast, this would be a good magazine for that gun. This mag is obviously made for this gun, but it works perfectly fine on any other Nerf gun. For the last big gun, we have a gun that is probably, according to everyone ever who has ever held this gun, the best Nerf gun ever created. If you want a gun that is pretty much guaranteed to win you Nerf wars no matter what, unless someone else has this gun, then this is the gun you need. This is the Nerf Prometheus. First of all, you can see it has a 9.6 volt battery. That's higher voltage than most Nerf guns have. That's actually the average voltage of most airsoft batteries. So already, just by looking at the battery, it's super powerful. The next thing, the battery on this gun is rechargeable. So you don't have to buy new batteries, and this thing is so fun. If you play with it a lot, you're going to have to buy new batteries if it took regular batteries. However, the good thing is this one is a rechargeable battery, which I've already said I really like rechargeable batteries. You just take this thing, you recharge it, and you're ready to go, and this battery lasts a really long time. It's got a gigantic hopper that I'm pretty sure holds 200 rounds. Yes, 200 rounds in the whole gun. That is a lot of ammo. Even with how insanely fast this shoots, 200 rounds is going to last you a pretty long time. This is the handle you hold it by. This is the other handle you hold it by. You walk around like this, or you can set it down. However, it's scarier when you're walking down a hallway and your friends are looking at you, and then there's a stream of a laser beam of rifle rounds coming toward them. I don't have any rounds, so you can't see this being shot right now, but if you go check out our review on it, it literally just makes laser beams. It's just insane, this gun. It's super powerful, it shoots super far. You can't, there isn't really a way to aim with this gun, but you don't even need to aim. You just point and shoot and just move the gun where you need to move it. So we keep all of our magazines and attachments in these plastic bins. In this bin, we have mostly like barrel attachments and stuff like that. In that other bin down there, we have stock attachments and rail attachments. In that bin right there, I keep small magazines and large drum magazines and rifle mags. In this, I keep like stick magazines, like 12 rounds, 18 rounds, 10 rounds. And I had recently organized the boxes, but boxes kind of unorganized themselves over time. Next, we have a bunch of Nerf blasters that are still in their box. Some of these we haven't actually opened and reviewed yet, and some of them, mainly the Overwatch ones, we have put back in their box. But you can see coming through here, we got like a few micro shots and stuff, a few blasters we haven't reviewed yet. And there are 2 plastic buckets you can see which have our rival rounds and our other Nerf rounds in them, mostly elite darts, and some other off-brand darts in there too.
Bros, if you want a shout out, then go to the community tab on our channel and go to the most recent post and type, "I want a shout out."
Alright guys, that is the end of our Nerf 2019/2020 Arsenal video. Hopefully we made a lot of people happy because a lot of people have been asking for this video and we haven't made an Arsenal video in a pretty long time. So if you liked it, please click the like button and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Be happy, peace out.